Another glorious morning at Queen Elizabeth Country Park. This morning I'm going to climb up the Blue, do my favourite trail out the back of the park, and then head over to a different trail network area called Headown and ride the trails in there, because I've not ridden them for quite a while. So, yeah, to get to the top and get down the first trail. First trail of the day. I use this one as a bit of a warm up. When I left home this morning, my car was telling me it was -4, and the trails are really frozen solid, which is lovely. So, where I live, these sort of temperatures are not unheard of, but they're pretty unusual. So it's good to make the most of these frozen, clear blue days when you get them, before we turn back to our usual 8 degrees and drizzle. Oh, made a mess of that. Oh, what is it that cold that makes your nose sniff? Or your nose run and then you have to sniff even. I'll try and keep it to a minimum. I do need to breathe. Sunlight coming through the trees is absolutely, whoa, beautiful. The ice on the chalk, however, not so. I'm going to heed that warning. Lovely. Now I've got a little road climb up to head down, and I'll bring you back in a minute. Just climbing up to where the majority of the trails start up here. And I'll probably just head straight into the first trail. No, I won't. I'm going to stop for a drink first. Right, lovely smooth gear changes. Let's start the first trail over here. Oh. Now, I'd normally expect these leaves to be, or to have cleared by now, but clearly not. Still a struggle to see where the trail goes. Hey, yeah. Okay. I've ridden every day for about 2 weeks now, and really starting to feel very tired, absolutely worn out. But when it's this good, you just got to keep riding. It makes up for a really wet week we had before Christmas, when I didn't actually get one ride in. Oh, oh, a fallen tree. Our prevailing wind direction is a southwesterly, and we've had some really strong northerly winds, and the trees aren't used to wind coming from that direction, so they've got a habit of falling over. I've not ridden this trail network for quite a while, although I have ridden through here and picked off the odd trail when I've been doing like a 25 or 30 mile cross country ride, and I tried to do a different one each time, but I thought it'd be really good to come up here and bang out 4 or 5 of the best trails up here today. And what a day. Not that one, not that one. Right, let's do this one. One of last year's fallen trees. Wow. Kind of taking it easy today because after riding with Adam a few days ago, I realised how rusty I was at this sort of riding. And I'm still carrying an injury, so I don't want to aggravate that. Hey. Oh, that was slow. I don't know if you can hear, but it's so icy. I should really be on my transition today, but I'm looking for a new dropper post. Morning. Give them a few minutes to get ahead. Yeah, on my transition, I'm waiting for a new dropper post, and I robbed the jockey wheels off it to put on this bike, so I could keep riding. It's amazing when you've got 2 bikes. You think one would always be working, but what happens is both get worn out at exactly the same time. Let's cruise down the next trail. This one's going to be into the sun, so might not be able to see a great deal. Crispy. Last time I rode this, I came off on some roots at the end of this section, which I try and avoid today. Wow, it's so slippery. Yeah, this is the roots there got me last time. All the ruts are frozen up. Normally you would just squish them and move where you wanted to on the trail, but I'm going around this today. Not got enough speed. Yeah, now it's like being stuck on rails when you get in a rut. Ooh. definitely a day when you know you'd have a lot more grip on my other bike with big super grippy enduro rubber on it, but this is still very good fun. I think a lot of people are realising that you ride a 160mm, 170mm enduro bike, the next stop after that is an e-bike. I think I'm going to drop down a trail I don't ride very often. And then I'm going to head back into the park, probably finish off on the red final descent, and then go home and veg for the rest of the day in front of the television. Duck off down here. That's steeper than it looks. And it's also really dark in here. And on the shady side of the hill, and carry on down here. Whoa, that's just frozen chalk. What happens around here is the chalk absorbs a lot of moisture, and then when it freezes, that moisture gets pushed out to the surface, and you end up with just an icy covering. Right, have we got a speed for that? Yes. Oh. Yeah. Right, that's horrible. And then we just roll along here. And then someone's been through here with a forest destroying machine by the looks of things. This was quite overgrown, so whoa! I navigate frozen routes and ruts caused by forestry machines and big holes. Whoa. Yeah. Wow. Let me go down here. My arms have gone all floppy and feeble. Lovely. Right. Now we're on the final red descent. There's a little bit of up and down on it. So we get to the proper down in a minute. This is where it starts to go down properly. It's so nice just to let gravity do the work. You can feel it's slippery. Trouble is your brain's telling you that because it's dry you should be able to go flat out. Pump that. That was really good. I suspect that when it thaws out, everything's going to go back to sopping wet, even though it looks dry at the moment. Well, that was a superb ride. I don't think I've seen another mountain biker all the time I've been out. I think now it's time to head home for a really big fish finger sandwich and a giant mug of coffee. Thanks for watching and see you again soon. Bye.